All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Next on the Powers. I've got a couple interesting stories for you guys today. Actually, they're very interesting stories. So the first story is going to be about Brad Castleberry and Kenny KO at the LA Fit Expo this weekend. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it out to LA because I'm still sick, but I will be at the Arnold Classic at the end of February and the beginning of March. But there was an interesting interaction at the LA Fit Expo between Brad Castleberry and Kenny KO, which isn't the typical interaction that you would expect between these two guys. Now, typically, you have Kenny KO calling out Brad, making videos about Brad. And I mean, we've all made videos about Brad and the fake weights, but Kenny has done this before and called out Brad in person. And the first time he did this, Brad was kind of nice about it. Brad kind of played along. And for the most part, Brad never really seemed to give much of a shit about people, making videos talking about the fake weights or any of that. And for the most part, he's put up with Kenny KO's in-person call-outs. So in this one, I'm going to go ahead and roll the video here and then explain to you guys what they're saying.
YouTube community. Obviously, we agreed to meet up in person. I don't care about that. I'm just bringing it. We did. To prove he didn't put his videos up that we did. He's not a real one. This guy's one of the fakest guys in the industry. Fakest guys in the industry. What's his name? I don't even know his name. When I see him on YouTube making shitty videos, he's a bad influence for this industry. He shouldn't be here. Thank you guys.
So Kenny basically walks up to Brad and says that this is for a YouTube video for the YouTube community. And then Kenny starts talking about the fact that him and Brad agreed to meet up and do some videos about the fake weights. And Brad kind of cuts him off right there and says, I don't care about that. And then it sounds like Brad says, yeah, we did meet up. And then he says Kenny refused to post the videos that they did together. And then Brad even goes one step further, and I thought this was the best part of the whole video is where Brad says this guy is one of the fakest guys in the industry. Brad has been called out many times for the fake weights, so it was a pretty profound statement to hear Brad Castleberry call someone the fakest guy in the industry. And then he goes on to say that Kenny makes shitty YouTube videos and he's a bad influence and shouldn't even be here in the industry. So I don't know, what the case was, if they did meet up and they shot some videos together and, maybe Brad actually lifted some impressive heavy weight and maybe proved that the weight was real and maybe it didn't fit the narrative that Kenny was putting out and Kenny didn't post the videos. I don't really know what exactly Brad's referring to Kenny refused to post the videos. But if that is the case, and it is something like that, and they did meet up and do some videos together, and then Kenny didn't post them because it didn't fit the narrative he was trying to give, I could actually see, why Brad Castleberry would be upset if Kenny's coming up to him again at an expo to get more content for Kenny's channel, and they worked on some collab, and then Kenny didn't hold up his end of the deal. I would be pissed too. So if that's what the situation is here, as much as we call Castleberry fake and, laugh about the fake weights and all that kind of stuff, props to him for standing up for himself if that's what the situation was. Now, I'm sure Kenny will upload a video explaining the whole situation and what exactly went down, or at least give his side of the story. And I'm kind of interested to hear it, really, because it could be, that would be pretty fascinating if they did some kind of collab and then it never ended up seeing an actual upload to YouTube. So that would be kind of interesting. So I guess the ball is in Kenny's court to respond to what Brad said here, but as much as we joke about Brad, I could kind of see why he's getting annoyed here. Now, the next story that I have for you guys today is about Vegan Gains, actually. So this is kind of a fascinating story here. Vegan Gains actually got his YouTube channel completely terminated. If you go and search Vegan Gains on YouTube, his channel won't come up. It's completely gone, and that's kind of a fascinating thing. So on Twitter, Vegan Gains reached out to YouTube creators, and he wrote this tweet. Please help at YouTube creators. I run an educational channel that focuses around plant-based nutrition, and I just had my channel terminated. I've tried my best to comply with YouTube guidelines, but apparently one of my older videos got flagged. I'd appreciate help to resolve this issue. So Vegan Gains, obviously, whether you like him or hate him, or whether you're a vegan or not a vegan, the bottom line is, it sucks to see anybody get their channel terminated on YouTube because, again, if you go back to the original reason why everybody loved YouTube and loved the internet so much in general is because it gave everybody a platform to speak their mind, no matter what their viewpoint is, no matter what their opinion is. It gave everybody, an equal opportunity to build a following and get their opinion out there, and that was the beauty of YouTube. And censorship continued to grow, and we saw channels get shut down for things that maybe they shouldn't have gotten shut down for. Now, that being said, while Vegan Gains does say some controversial things, he might share some videos that might not entirely comply with, the community guidelines, even though I understand why he shares those videos, trying to reinforce in people's minds, some of the living conditions and some of the things that happen to these animals in these factory farms. I understand why he shares some videos like that, but maybe some things like that YouTube would find as violating their community guidelines or age restricting or whatever the case may be. Something like that, I could see where that could get you a copy strike, even though, again, I understand the rationale for including those in the videos. Now, he's touched on some controversial things. He's had a lot of beefs with a lot of different YouTubers. Some people say they consider him to be a bully. For the most part, I do watch some of his videos here and there, and I never really found any of the recent ones to really be that controversial, really. Now, I remember when he first hit the scene, years ago before I was even really into YouTube, and he was a lot more aggressive in his approach, and he was a lot more, filterless. He really had no filter back in the day, and he really said whatever the hell he wanted to say. And more recently, he's really done, it seemed to be like a lot better job of cleaning up his channel and taking a more compassionate approach, or maybe a more thought out approach to dealing with these beefs that he has and these situations that he has with other YouTubers. He's not as aggressive with them. He's not as, rude to them or whatever the case may be. And he just seems to go about it better. And it seems like he had been cleaning up his act a little bit lately is the point that I'm trying to make. So it's not entirely clear the exact reason why his channel got taken down, what guideline he might have violated, what particular video this was, or why that video was in violation. But it looks to be that it was one video, just one, that was the reason his channel was taken down. So whatever that video was, that tells me, whoever was reviewing that at YouTube, they must have found that video to be pretty explicit or pretty egregious to terminate his channel entirely. So again, just from a common sense approach, it sucks to see any channel get taken down, whether you agree or disagree with what they're saying. The point of the internet, again, is for everyone to get their opinions out there, and it's not supposed to be a place where every video that's out there is a video that aligns perfectly with what you believe, and your favorite platform doesn't only stream videos that you agree with. And there should be back and forth and debates, and there should be people that disagree with each other. So I'm hoping that the reason his channel was terminated wasn't anything based in the ideology of his channel. I don't think it was an anti-vegan conspiracy by YouTube, or YouTube thinking he was saying something too controversial. I think it was probably the nature of maybe one of the videos that he, included in his video. Some of the videos of factory farms and stuff like that could have been, what I would suspect. But Richard, if you're watching this, I actually do hope you get your channel back, man. It sucks to see any other YouTuber, get their channel deleted, because honestly, at the end of the day, we're all YouTubers, and we all know how much work it takes to sustain a channel, and to constantly put out videos every day. No matter what type of content it is you're putting out, we all know how much work goes into that and how much effort it takes to grow and sustain and build these channels. And then to just have it all taken away for you in one day, hopefully he's just able to appeal it and get it back, man. Now, the final story that I have for you guys today is going to be pro wrestling related, because, of course, the Royal Rumble is tonight, the second biggest event of the year in pro wrestling. So this pro wrestling topic is going to be The Rock and Roman Reigns have announced a new movie, a Fast and Furious spinoff called Hobbs and Shaw. So apparently in this movie, Roman Reigns will be playing the brother of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Obviously, they look very similar and have very similar tattoos. And I thought it was interesting, actually, reading some of the comments in the comment section, because as you guys know, earlier in 2018, Roman Reigns announced that he was taking some time off and relinquishing his WWE title because he had leukemia that had returned. It was in remission, but it had came back, and he was leaving the WWE temporarily to fight that. And reading through the comment section when he posted this about this movie, I thought it was kind of fascinating how many fans, or haters, I guess you could say, were speculating that the whole leukemia thing was just an angle by the WWE storyline, so that Roman Reigns would be able to leave to film this movie, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. The WWE has done a lot of crazy, controversial things, but I think, you know, with as much charity work as they do, as much work that they do with, you know, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, I think it would be beneath even the WWE to fake a wrestler having leukemia, just so that wrestler could take some time off to film a movie. I don't think that's anything that's even in the realm of, you know, possibility for the WWE at this point in time. So that's it for the video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Just a quick one today. Hope you guys have a great Sunday night and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.